You're about to watch a package of the Day of Help for Persons with Disability, which took place at the Independence Square. Stay glued to your seat. The Charismatic Evangelistic Ministries Christ to the World present the Day of Help. About 63 buses were hired from the Metro Mass Authority, which were sent into several towns and villages across the country that brought to the Independence Square about 15,000 persons with disability.
I've been set free. I've been set free. Sweet the sound, it saved a wretch like me. Ooh, I once was lost, but now I thought was blind, but now I see. Oh, I can see now. Oh, see the love in your eyes, laying yourself down.
The Day of Help is usually celebrated on the third Saturday of August every year. John chapter 9 verse 1 to 3. As he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parent, that he was born blind?" "Neither this man nor his parents sinned," said Jesus, "but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him." Disability is not inability. Calling yourself a Christian brings with it the duty and the privilege of a lifetime of service. Jesus Christ said, "Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." John 15 verse 13. We lay down our lives every time we put someone else's needs before ours. It is in this stead that the Charismatic Evangelistic Ministries Christ to the World upholds the value of human life and the concerns of persons with disability to create the platform for provision of spiritual, physical, medical, material assistance and aids to elevate their plight. Christ to the World organized a Day of Help for persons with disability, targeting the visually and hearing impaired, burns survivors, physically challenged, mental health patients, autistic persons, people with Down syndrome, albinos, etc. at the Independence Square. Persons with disability often suffer discrimination because of prejudice or in some cases ignorance. But that's not all. Access to essential services is also a challenge they are confronted with. This is a silent crisis which affects not only persons with disabilities themselves and their families, but also the economic and social development of entire societies, where a significant reservoir of human potential often remains untapped. Considering some forms of disabilities are frequently caused by human activities or simply by lack of care. Helping eradicate this silent crisis must be accompanied by concrete action beyond the rhetoric. It is against this backdrop that free medical care with doctors, nurses, ophthalmologists, pharmacists, dentists, physiotherapists, and other health specialists was extended to vulnerable groups of persons with disability.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
children with cerebral palsy need external postural support in different positions with the aim of enabling them to experience and develop more normal ways of moving and prevent secondary complications. It wasn't all about medicals. There was enough for everyone. From food items to toiletries, mattresses, pillows, clothes, buckets, toys for the children, etc. We made sure everyone went back satisfied, knowing we worked to put a smile on their faces. The day saw over 1,000 volunteers who were at the beck and call of persons with disability to assist them go through the process by escorting disabled in collecting their items, directing them to the right specialist, and also carrying their items to the buses they came with. Everyone had something to do, from packaging to distribution, sorting out clothes, distribution of mattresses, refreshments, etc. Being the first time collaborating with the charismatic evangelistic ministries Christ to the Rural World, the Lighthouse Chapel International's Healing Jesus campaign presented 1,000 wheelchairs to persons with disability.
Oh, I can see the love in your eyes, laying yourself down, raising up the broken to life.
White cane, also known as guide cane, is used by visually impaired persons to facilitate easy movement, especially when they are in a familiar environment. The Deputy General Overseer, Reverend Stanley Mensah, distributed these canes to persons with visual impairment. In Ghana, a significant population of the people survive on begging, which is very dehumanizing. Persons with disability rather need decent jobs for sustainable livelihoods. Otiko Efisi-Jaba is the Gender, Children and Social Protection Minister. She was taken on a tour of the Independence Square where several persons with disability were being taken care of. In an interview, the gender minister outlined various interventions by government to support persons with disability.
We a person with disability, you can be gainfully employed. And a school assem from day nursery, F-Cube a free compulsory universal basic education. And a SHS and also ababeka. That means education from basic up to SHS a free. But in Prembebre, obi oye disabled or kwa any pam pesa or mobile school. Ntina there was special schools at my home. But the best thing is that also we are fully integrated. Nti abai any Osofo and other organizations working with the persons with disability. Ebe making sure say yebe yes mapping and community by community. All children of school going age are disabled. No munko school.
Okay, so the bishop of the church is here, Reverend Steve Mensah. The cases from this year and then last year, have you seen any difference or is it still the same?
More cases, more terrible cases, more mind-blowing cases. That's, I don't know how we're going to handle it because these are people who cannot afford all these medical help. So we are putting our heads together to see how we can extend our hand and help some of them. They need surgery, they need this, they need that, they can't afford them. So they are living with them. And if you ask the doctors, they will tell you a lot of referrals. There are cases last year that we are still on to this year. Because some of the cases, it takes about 6 months. Because sometimes they do about 2 or 3 surgeries. They will do a part and leave another part for it to heal before they open the other part. It depends on what kind of disability you have and what kind of surgery. Some are very instant, some it takes time. We have a lot of cases in Korle Bu. We are just appealing to our doctors in Korle Bu to show some little compassion to us and reduce some of our charges so we can hasten the work. But we thank God because some of them, they know us, they know we work hand in hand with them. And so they treat us with a lot of care, but sometimes it's not their fault. They are working with tools. They need the medicines. They have to have that, and our NHIS doesn't cover those. And the person doesn't got money, so the church has to step in and help the fellow.
So with the Lighthouse Chapel's Healing Jesus Crusade coming on board, what would you say about it?
It's been a tremendous help. He came here last year, told me that you are not doing this anymore. And he came in, he's brought over 50 doctors, over 1,000 volunteers, brought in wheelchairs, mattresses and things. He's come here this morning with his team. He has preached a very powerful message. He's in collaboration with me and he's told me once again that we shall solve the wheelchair problems in Ghana. And now he's going to set up a hospital that can do artificial legs for people. Bishop Hayward Mills is he's my best friend. And I've known him for the past 25 to 30 years. He's a very compassionate man. He's committed to things like this. And so far, he's told me that we are doing this together. So I pray that it will be on for life.
Good afternoon, Bishop.
Hello.
We are very glad that you joined us on this trip. Please, what has been your observation so far?
We are happy to be here. And we thank God for the ability to share and to give and to distribute things that people need. There's a great need. And no one is really meeting the need. People are really suffering. People are really in need and in difficulty. So I think it's a great effort, and I congratulate Reverend Steve for the heart to care for people who no one cares for. People who are really suffering, they are sweating, they are in pain, they are in difficulty, they are forgotten. So I would encourage everyone to open their hearts and open their eyes to see the needs and to help. But I would encourage everyone to get on board, to support Reverend Steve. He's my friend, so I'm part of whatever he's doing. Jesus said, I was hungry, I was sick, I was in prison. You didn't mind me, you didn't care about me. So he said, depart from me, you cursed. And then those who remembered, those who were homeless, those who were sick, those who were in prison, he said, come ye blessed of the Lord. I believe it's a great blessing, and it's a blessing for us to be part of this. So I'd encourage anyone, every pastor, every businessman, anyone who has the love of God to be a part of this great program.
Without a program like this, what would be the very life of people who are benefiting today if there was nothing like this?
No, it's so miserable, and I can tell you on record that most of our people are committing suicide. you know, before you hear somebody is dead and you want to find out why he died and the reasons, and they tell you that, oh, he just committed suicide. Because you see, sometimes the life is very challenging. You don't have food to eat, you don't have clothing, and no job, and it's been difficult. A few ones are able to get on the street to beg, but majority are so ashamed to get on the street to beg because of the family, friends, and all they can do is to give up life.
Okay, how are you doing? Okay. So what are some of the things you got?
Rice, buckets, a full lot of items.
Okay.
We get this thing, medical checkup, drugs, food items, clothing. Now we are moving to eye screening, physiotherapy, and all that. We thank you all.
Lizzie, what would you have to say to the church?
Say thank you to them.
What would you say? Then I'll become.
Wannan mun gode muna jin daɗin harakar wannan da aka yi. Alhamdulillah mun gode wallahi. Sauran ku ba mu abun shi mu ci. Alo mun gode wallahi. Da Hausa mu mun gode thank you.
Okay, nangode minute. Thank you. Thank you everybody.
The Day of Help is here to stay. What can you do to help?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. Oh, I can see it now. Oh, I can see the love in your eyes, laying yourself down, raising up the broken to life.
Thanks for watching. To sponsor or contribute to this program, visit the Christ to the Real World Secretariat at Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry, opposite Wisconsin University, North Legon, or call the following numbers. God bless you.